Every EB5 investor I speak to asks the same question. Should I file now or wait? And the honest answer is, it depends on which deadline you are asking about, what you stand to gain, and what you are willing to risk. Today I am going to break down all 3 critical deadlines between now and September 2027. For each one, I will tell you exactly what you gain by filing before that date and exactly what you give up if you wait past it. No pressure, no rush, just the facts clearly laid out so you can make the right decision for your situation. I am Mr. EB5. Welcome to EB5 Gyaan. Let's get into it. Deadline 1. September 30th, 2026. The grandfathering deadline. The first deadline is September 30th, 2026. This is the grandfathering deadline, and it is the most consequential of the 3. Let me give you both sides. If you file before September 30th, 2026, what you gain? Your petition is legally grandfathered under the current rules. That means, if the program lapses after this date, your case continues. If new rules are introduced that change filing requirements, investment amounts, or program structure, you are protected from those changes. Your priority date is locked. Your investment amount is locked. Your case framework is locked. You also gain peace of mind knowing that whatever happens politically or legislatively after this date, your petition is not at the mercy of it. And critically, filing before September 30th, 2026 also protects you from the January 2027 investment increase. One filing date, 2 layers of protection. If you wait past September 30th, 2026, what you give up? Grandfathering protection disappears entirely. Your case is now subject to whatever rules exist at the time you file, and whatever rules may come after. If the program lapses in September 2027, your case could be frozen. If the NPRM proposed rules are finalized before you file, you may be subject to stricter job creation requirements, different capital structure rules, or higher compliance standards. And you lose the investment amount protection, meaning you will pay the post-January 2027 higher minimum. Is there any reason to wait past this date? Genuinely, only one. If your source of funds documentation is not ready, and rushing it would mean filing a weak petition, it is better to file a clean petition late than a flawed petition on time. A strong petition filed in November 2026 is far better than a rushed, poorly documented petition filed in September 2026. But that is not an argument for waiting indefinitely. It is an argument for starting your documentation process today, so you are ready well before the deadline. Deadline 2, January 1st, 2027. The investment amount increase. The second deadline is January 1st, 2027. This is the date the minimum investment amounts increase automatically by law. TEA projects go from $800,000 to $937,500. Non-TEA projects go from $1,050,000 to an estimated $1,200,000 to $1,250,000. Let me give you both sides. If you file before January 1st, 2027, what you gain? You invest at today's lower minimum. For a TEA project, that is a saving of $137,500. For a non-TEA project, that is a saving of $150,000 to $200,000. Those are not rounding errors. That is real capital you keep. Capital that can stay invested elsewhere, fund your family's relocation, or simply remain in your pocket. And if you also file before September 30th, 2026, you lock in this lower amount with full grandfathering protection. That is the strongest possible position an EB5 investor can be in right now. If you wait past January 1st, 2027, what you give up? You pay the higher minimum. No exceptions, no negotiation. The increase is mandated by statute, written directly into the EB5 Reform and Integrity Act of 2022. There is no grandfather clause for investment amounts alone after this date, unless you have already filed before September 30th, 2026. Is there any reason to wait past this date? Very few. Some investors may be waiting for a specific project to launch, one that does not exist yet or is not yet open for subscription. If that is your situation, work backwards carefully with your attorney to determine whether an alternative project filed before January 2027 better serves your interests overall. A higher investment in the right project may still be preferable to a lower investment in the wrong one. But all other things being equal, There is no financial upside to waiting past January 1st, 2027. Deadline 3. September 30th, 2027. The program reauthorization deadline. The third deadline is September 30th, 2027. This is the date the EB5 Regional Center program's current authorization expires. Congress must reauthorize it or the program lapses. This is the wild card, and it deserves a very honest discussion. Let me give you both sides. If you file before September 30th, 2027 and you file before September 30th, 2026, what you gain? Full protection. Even if Congress fails to act and the program lapses, your grandfathered petition continues. You are completely insulated from a lapse scenario. Your case moves forward regardless of what happens on Capitol Hill. If you filed after September 30th, 2026, but before September 30th, 2027, this is the grey zone most investors do not think carefully enough about. You are in the program. Your petition is filed, but you are not grandfathered. If the program lapses on September 30th, 2027, the current law does not extend automatic protection to your case the way grandfathering does. Your case could be frozen pending reauthorization. USCIS has historically continued processing previously filed petitions during lapses, but that is policy practice, not a legal guarantee. The 2021 lapse lasted nearly 8 months. Processing slowed dramatically. New filings were not accepted. If that happens again in 2027, investors without grandfathering are at the mercy of USCIS administrative discretion and congressional timing. If you wait past September 30th, 2027, what you give up? Everything. If the program lapses and is not reauthorized, you cannot file at all until it is renewed. If it is reauthorized with new terms, you file under whatever the new rules look like, which could mean higher investment amounts, stricter project requirements, different program structure, or something none of us can predict today. Is there any reason to wait until after September 2027? Only one scenario. If an investor genuinely cannot prepare a credible petition, identify a suitable project, and arrange their source of funds within this window. In that case, waiting may be unavoidable, but it should be a last resort, not a default. The combined picture. What the deadlines mean together. Let me now show you what these 3 deadlines look like when you put them together. There are effectively 4 windows an investor can fall into. Window 1. File before September 30th, 2026. This is the strongest position. You get grandfathering protection. You invest at today's lower amount. You are insulated from program lapse risk in 2027. You are protected from future rule changes. Maximum protection, minimum exposure. Window 2. File between October 1st, 2026 and December 31st, 2026. You lose grandfathering. You still invest at today's lower amount because the investment increase does not kick in until January 2027. You carry lapse risk in September 2027. You are subject to any new rules finalized after September 2026. Partial protection. Some exposure. Window 3. File between January 1st, 2027 and September 30th, 2027. You lose grandfathering. You pay the higher investment minimum. You carry full lapse risk. The only advantage over waiting further is that you are in the program, your priority date is established, and USCIS has historically continued processing filed petitions even during a lapse. Minimum protection, significant exposure. Window 4. File after September 30th, 2027. You have no protection. You are entirely dependent on congressional action and whatever new terms emerge. Timing is entirely out of your control. This is the window no serious EB5 investor should be targeting voluntarily. Let me bring it all together. 3 deadlines, 4 windows, 1 question. Where do you want to be? Filing before September 30th, 2026 is not about rushing. It is about being ready for the deadline that matters most, with a clean petition, a verified source of funds, and a credible project. That preparation takes 3 to 6 months at minimum, which means if you are starting today, you are already working against a tight timeline. Do not let perfect timing be the enemy of protected timing. The best filing date is the one where your petition is ready, and that date is as early as possible. Talk to a qualified EB5 attorney, map your source of funds, evaluate your project options, and file when you are ready before the window closes. Drop your questions in the comments. I read every single one. If this helped you think through your own filing timeline, share it with someone facing the same decision. That's EB5 Gyaan. Simply clear every time. I'm Mr. EB5. Know the deadline, know the cost, make the right move. See you in the next one.